Why, thank you for joining us today, everyone. It is Andrew from MAO Magic. We're going to go hands-on, install, and test out the Kevo Smart Lock from Kwikset. There are many different smart locks out there on the market, and this is definitely a solid option, especially if you already have a Kwikset lock installed on your door. What really sets this one apart is the myriad of ways you can get into your home from this lock. You can actually touch the outside. If you have your phone near you, you can use the phone to unlock, use the key fob on your keychain, or traditional keys. So you've got many different options to actually get into your house. The Kwikset Kevo works with many different smart home platforms, including Amazon Alexa, and it can integrate with Ring, maybe with Nest as well, or the Honeywell thermostats if you have one of those. The big downside for me, at least, is it does not include HomeKit support. So this will not work with HomeKit on your iOS device, which is, again, a big downside for me, but it does have a lot of really other great options. So if you're an Android user or you're not using HomeKit at the moment, this is still something that you could check out. So one of the other smart locks that we looked at quite extensively was the August, and these take completely different approaches. The August would kind of affix just on the inside of your lock, so it doesn't replace any of the other actual hardware other than the inside part where you kind of lock or unlock it. It's also a lot simpler package. When you open up, it's really simple and not much going on compared to the Kevo here, which can be quite a bit daunting, and they actually sell it, on Amazon with installation because some people may not want to go through this whole process. It is very easy, and we will go through that process today in that video so you can see how to install it, but it's definitely something to consider. It's a little bit more complicated, and you do have to switch out everything for this to work. So you do have this larger inside piece. You actually have the bolt for the lock, the outside key piece. You got batteries in here. It runs just on 4 AA batteries. So something to keep in mind, most of these do just run off of batteries. It's just easier because it's in a door, and they will last quite a long time. The August I found lasts a little bit longer, but this does have kind of more function, so maybe I just end up using this more when I had this installed. You got a bunch of random paperwork in here talking about the fob-only users, about how to install everything, a big illustrated installation guide to actually walk you through the process. This is very easy, as well as just watching a video online, kind of right here, the video you're watching now. Great installation guide. So anyway, this is kind of what you're left with once you open that box. Just a whole lot of different parts. Looks a little daunting, but it's really not bad at all. So let's go ahead and take a look at actually what you need to do. Before we jump in though, we want to look at this. This is one of the key fobs that you can use to unlock your door. This is very handy because you can just throw it on your keychain and you don't have to authenticate through your phone. Also really something easy that you can give away to people if they don't have a smartphone or want to install the app to use their phone to get in. So really good backup solution. You do get one in the box, but you can buy more if you need to. One of the biggest benefits of this and many Kwikset locks is the ability to rekey it. That's right, if you have a Kwikset lock already, so I have an apartment and I have a Kwikset lock, I can come in here, use this tool, really simple, matter of just a couple minutes, and I can switch it from the keys that it came with to the keys that I already have. So in an apartment building, I can't just switch the locks on the landlord, but if I switch it to the exact same lock, they had no problem with it. So I was able to rekey this Kwikset smart lock, put it on the outside. That brushed nickel finish matches exactly actually what I had already. So it was really handy, and I was able to switch it over to my new keys. So you don't have to worry about switching keys if you upgrade to this lock. If you don't have a Kwikset lock, unfortunately, you would have to switch keys, but just something to consider. As I did have a Kwikset lock already, I did not have to replace the inner part inside of the door here, so I do have to replace the other pieces though. It's really, again, very simple to install. So I took everything off first, other than that middle part from my case, and I put on the outside part, the actual key part on the outside of the door, running the wires underneath and the little bolt through the actual part that locks and unlocks the door in the middle. Once you put that on there, you should probably just tape it. It would kind of stay by itself, but it's going to make things a lot easier if you just put a piece of duct tape or something over top of that and keep it in place. Moving to the inside of the door, let's go ahead, and again, I'm going to use all technical terms, so we're going to put on some brassish looking mounting type plate first, which just screws into the middle inner part of the door. Again, all technical terms. Once I put those 2 screws into place and run the wires through the center hole of this little mounting plate here, we're going to connect a couple wires. There are a couple wires to connect, and luckily they're pretty well shaped, so you're not going to plug them into the wrong spot. They're going to go where they need to go. Once those wires are gone ahead and plugged in, it did take me a few minutes. They were a little bit knacky to kind of get in there, a little hard to kind of plug together, but once those wires were all connected, that's going to give me the power and everything to the outside of that door lock. Then I'm going to kind of be careful about where those wires are placed, making sure they're kind of tucked inside of there. They're not going to get in the way. They're not going to prohibit the door from locking or unlocking. I'm going to go ahead and slide it over top of that mounting plate there, and then we have 2 more screws to go ahead and screw in. Once we have lefty and righty in place, we're all good to go. We simply need to kind of press that program button, get everything booted up. It'll go ahead and move and make sure it's able to correctly identify what is locked, what is unlocked. It's going to test it once or twice. Then you're good to go. We can move over to the smartphone side of things and get this hooked up to our Kevo app. You can go ahead and put the cover on it at this point, but we are going to need that QR code as we scan that from our app. So you can go ahead and leave it off either way, not a big deal. Once you open the app for the first time, it's going to ask you to enable some of the functionality, enable Bluetooth because that is how it connects to the lock itself. Wi-Fi just draws a really lot of power, so it doesn't exactly make sense. So Bluetooth is definitely the option to go, a lot lower energy. You will need to create a Kevo account as well. We're good to go. You can tap on the lock from the outside. That's going to lock and unlock it. Works super smooth, super nicely, and it gives you that lighted feedback, green when it's locked and red when it is locked, so you can see exactly what's going on when you're tapping it if you can't hear it or see because it's in the door. So let's take a look at some of the features of the app itself. You have your nice home screen, which tells you how many active e-keys, which is what allows you to do it from your phone, and how many you have available. And that has changed actually recently. Instead of having these e-keys where you have to pay, they literally charged you for extra e-keys. So if you had more than 2 people who needed to get in, you had to pay for more of those digital keys, digital access codes. So that's gone away. You now can actually send an e-key to anyone you need to. So unlimited digital users, which is fantastic, brings it kind of up to parity with the August and other smart locks that are out there. However, if you do want more key fobs, the actual physical key fobs, those you would have to buy, Best Buy, Amazon, whatever it may be. You can buy those and set those up as users as well. You can go in here and customize notifications, which is really nice. So there's key events, which will do it automatically when you have a low battery and when there's a software update. But if you tap the little plus button, there are other ones that you can make. So if there's a certain time of day that you want to get notifications about, you want to see just things after certain hours, or you just want to see it for certain users, you can choose all those notifications and customize them to your needs. So really verbose notification settings inside of the Kevo itself. So what do I think about the Kevo? What kind of sums this up? It's a very nice looking lock. It matches a lot of ones that are out there already, though the inside part of the lock is quite large. I do prefer the August overall, but the August is more expensive. The August works with more platforms, and I don't have any additional charges for key fobs. But then again, I don't have an option for a key fob. So the Kevo probably gives you the most options of all the smart locks out there, but they do charge for the key fobs, and the app is maybe a little boring, I guess, compared to the other ones, not as easy to use, and of course, it's lacking HomeKit support in this version, so the HomeKit support for me is probably the deal breaker itself, but if you're not using HomeKit, there's a lot of other great reasons to love this lock, especially the way you can re-key this. That is an absolutely killer feature, so if you'd like to pick one up, there's a link below in the description. Subscribe. Till next time, it's Andrew from MAO Magic.